what 2022 will bring us. Welcome everyone, warm, hot, sunny. Greetings to everyone, and I'm glad you safely arrived in 2022. So welcome. I will today tell you about the vision board that most of you probably do every year or every few months. And I love those, and it works so much better than typical New Year's resolutions. And I will tell you a little bit more about how, according to me, regarding all the prophecies I'm hearing about 2022 will look like. So you may hear a lot of things and you may worry at this point, what's going to happen? A lot of things are happening already. We are living in very interesting times, and this is not a curse, as some of the people I know are saying. So regarding of the bad prophecies, I have a good and bad news for you. So the good and the bad news sounds actually the same. It will be as you make it. The 2022 will be exactly the year how you are going to create, considering your frame of mind. And this is a good news for those who are creating your reality and navigating through, believe in yourself. And it's a bad news for those who are waiting for the predictions to happen because they are completely out of control. So perhaps it's a time for us to be authority for ourselves. Maybe it's a time for the true, who really are true friends are, and how to redirect our mind toward what we want and navigate through whatever is going on right now. Time for real friendships and seeing through. And most of you don't need another course, another teaching, another school. You know already a lot, and you are probably overwhelmed by amount of offers coming to you your way. So before you pick this one course, studies, new things you would like to learn, it's very important to know your priorities and your borders. By that, for example, I mean, do not enter any contract or business relationship with anyone I don't see personally face to face. This is, for example, my rule, my border, and it's crucial to settle your rules, because if you don't know that, it's very easy to pull you into something you may regret later, or it wasn't serving really your soul, your essence, what you really wanted to do. So your priorities are number one, and here is when you are going to need a list. What do you really want? And you cannot know what you want if you don't know yourself. That's pretty obvious, and it sounds very simple. However, it is not really so. So with me, it's like when I do not have my personal map, I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere. I need to know what I want before I'm going to hear out anybody out there. And why is that? Because we are living in the world that, of course, it's run by all these offers to sell, to make money, and we all are programmed into just making more money and needing more. So there is a lot of those offers out there. As much as, there is like a typical good business, like this is exchange. So this is the product, you pay this, you get that. I'm fine with that. But more and more those so-called spiritual businesses, it's more charming you into and telling you, hey, we are going to help you. We are going to offer you this. You just give us this, prosperity, money or something like that. And it's more and more manipulative. It sounds to me like a red lights or like a bells in the church, and I'm usually gone. So to some of you know how to pick that up and avoid those things. Some of you are still maybe charmed by it. But anytime something comes to you I have a very simple way of how I can differentiate what that is. So if someone tells me, hey, I want to help you, I want to offer you this, I want to that, I'm always asking about intention. What do you get from it? And if these people cannot really answer me that, or the answer is making me feel uncomfortable, resisting, then this is not for me. It can be the greatest offer. I do not judge the people, the company, but it's just not resonating with me at that point. So I am thankfully saying no. If there's people insisting on and on, then of course it's another big red flag for me. So anyway, instead of New Year's resolutions, some of you tried it before, I admit. Before I tried it too, it just wasn't working, and I thought it's just not working for me and it ended for me in being angry at myself that I was unable to do that. So later on, when I started to write articles about it, I learned that more and more people telling me, hey, Joanna, it's not working really. We are ashamed that it didn't happen, or we just promised in front of everybody, in front of witnesses, to do something and then it didn't happen. So why is not happening? It's not happening because we do not know our preferences, our nature. And usually if something is not our nature, normally we're not going to do that all of a sudden just because it's January, right? So if you're not into sport and you're promising yourself to go out there and do more sport, you probably, it's gonna be, maybe you're gonna force yourself for the first month even, but it's not going to feel attractive. Why? Because your inner, you call it, some of the cultures, Hona, call it lowest me, or inner child. I do not really like those because it's a very, very powerful part of you, and maybe least understood. It's a powerful, the deepest I would call it, let's call it for now, the deepest I. The deepest I runs all of your emotions, your energy, if you are willing to do something or not. So if it's not attractive, it's going to sabotage you. So this is why these New Year's resolution, they don't work. What works better and it's more fun for deepest I, it's vision board. Even if you do not, or if you, some of you told me that, okay, it's not working, it's really stupid. Yeah, okay, I agree, but it's more chances that even if you do not do anything with it, you just did it one time a year or one time in your lifetime, and suddenly after years you pick that up and some things happened from that vision board, that's the better result than those New Year's resolution. So why is it not working? Usually it's not working because it's like a plant. So you have to water it, unfortunately, but it doesn't need that much food as pets. It just needs a little bit water. So it's gonna take you maybe 5 minutes a day to water it. It's just the beginning, and how you do it is the most crucial time, if you know exactly how to do it. So along the years, I developed my own way of doing it, and I will just tell you a little bit about it, how I think I make it just slightly better, and here is my thing, but I suggest you just use my words as an inspiration and you create your own, because whatever you create, you make it your own. It's going to work for you much better, so you do not have to use, especially whatever I'm personally doing with it, or I did in the past years. So make a list, of course. What do you really, really want? Even if you just think you want it for now, you're not sure, but it sounds attractive if in the area of fantasy. Later on, maybe it's not so realistic. It doesn't matter now. Just write your list. And when you do, I created 4 sections that are crucial for me, the most important. So I also prioritize them into me. So my health, my connection to the source of myself, my essence, my soul, you can call it masters, God, whatever you want. So there is a health, there is this stability, integrity, knowing yourself, that's I. right after that, I make the second one. This is your mission in the world. So your career, your success, your condition, where you want to live, how your environment should be, what are you doing, what is your profession, successes, career, talents. It's right here. It still belongs to I. So it's a better way of knowing yourself in terms of your life mission. The first one is just about integrity and feeling strong, powerful, and grounded within yourself. And this is very important for me, because if I don't know myself, if I don't know my mission, what can I offer to my partner, my family, my friends, my community? Just my madness and insanity. So on the third is my nearest environment, so my partner, my family, and here you can put of course children, friends, the closest ones, the friends you treat like your family of course, and so on. And I understand for a lot of you it's the other way around. It's a first your partner, it's a first your kids, and this is your personal thing. It's not for everyone like it is for me. So follow yourself here and make those categories according to you, not anybody else, not me, definitely not. So on the fourth position, I listed my community. So how what I'm doing influences my community, environment I live in, how we influence one another, how we serve, what we do, what I want to bring into my community, what I want to leave after myself, and so on. And of course, to all those sections, you put all your wishes, but at least you have some, categories, because before I was just randomly throwing out there whatever it was, and my vision board extended from one piece of big paper into 4. So maybe you are going to be more efficient than I was, who knows. Now, we are connecting all the possible senses, because the more the better. Actually, all of them will be cool. So to every wish, you write a symbol. The symbol is the better. Of course, I had a lot of troubles with that one. My sentences were too long. But the simple one is good for your subconscious mind to pick it up and assist you in creating it. So what we are engaging, it's a short sentence with affirming that it's already happened, so it's happening. I am, I have, I experience, I live such and such in those conditions, environment. So this is your statement, plus you can add here, I thank you that I am living, and I will get to thank you in a second or a few seconds. So the words are number 1. The next one is something that our subconscious mind, our deepest I loves to see things colorful, beautiful, exciting, powerful. So make a picture, or put there a picture. What do you really, really want? Or a symbol, draw it, make it colorful. Your subconscious mind may love it. So that's the vision. Another one is, what do you want to hear? So what is it that you are hearing around? What people are talking about you, about your life, your possession. Maybe some of you want to have a great, beautiful house. So what are you hearing? What are the words that are sounding in your mind when you are experiencing that desired life? And the most important component is your feeling. And this is when the thank you plays a role. So when you say thank you, and the second component of that feeling is, how do you want to feel when this is happening? So if you have that beautiful house, for example, what are you experiencing? Is it peace? Is it expansion? Is it passion? Is it freedom? Is it something inspiring in your soul? Is it, what kind of feeling is that? And the next one, there is 2 more that usually people forget about, unless me too. I admit, I forget about it, but it's pretty powerful. It's about something you are tasting. How does it taste? Seriously, how does it taste? Maybe you have that cocos drink when you are there, when you're doing certain things, when you envision yourself doing that. Another one is, what are you smelling? The smell. What is this, like of flowers, or seaside, the breeze and the ocean, or the forest? What is there really? So all of the senses, if you incorporate all of the senses and you make it like that to every wish on your vision board, that is when your job, the first part of the job, is done. Now, why all of that theater, entertainment? So our deepest I loves to be charmed, loves rituals, loves magic, loves to be entertained. We go to movies, we love a beautiful design, and we love to be charmed. So our deepest I, and it's not only about women, shamans, and all the people who, you know, it has to be, you know, this spark has to be there. It has to be encouraging for our deepest I. Just like also for children, they are not going to be interested, and they won't invest their time and energy in something mundane and boring, right? So it has to be absolutely attractive. This is why we do vision board. Why it is so important to feel how our deepest I reacts, because now there is another reason why this may not work straight away for everyone. Because at the very beginning, if your deepest I reacts with any slight feeling of discomfort, anger, hate, resistance, doubts, you need to stop whatever you're doing and not ignore it, but ask. This is for some of you maybe the first connection to your deepest I. Maybe you never talked to it, but it's very important. You are going to address it when it's showing up. You not push through it, but you are acknowledging those emotions, where they are coming from. So usually they are coming from the time when you didn't acknowledge your deepest I, your deepest feelings. You betrayed your feelings and you followed something else to do, or somebody else, and you didn't honor yourself, didn't value that part of you. So here, when you're hearing those doubtful or hateful even words in your head that it's not gonna happen, it's stupid, it's whatever, you need to address it. You need to say, hey, I hear you now. Okay, so you're telling me this. Well, I'm sorry. Apologize. Please apologize your inner I for whatever happened, and write it down, because we tend to forget things. If you promise your inner I something you're not going to fulfill, it's gonna get worse. So make it right. Make it right now, and say, hey, I'm sorry. So this is what's going to happen from now on. I'm going to value you, and I'm going to follow your feelings. And your inner I connects with you and communicates with you through those senses. The feeling, it gives you such a strong feelings, right? Sometimes it's tornado that is hard to stop. So this is the first sign, how the inner I communicates with you. And some of you maybe had a way to avoid that through drugs, alcohol, food, and so on and so on. So apologize for it, and do not promise too much. Just say, okay, it may happen again, but I would like to really make it right now, so I need your help, assistance in it. Can we do it this way? Do not trick your inner I. Be truthful to yourself. You cannot lie to your inner I. If you're not genuine to it, it's gonna get worse, and it's gonna be harder to get that connection. This is in a very, very nutshell, because people do that on therapy for years. But just to make sure that your vision board will absolutely work this time, this is very important. If you need a therapist at this point, if it's two strong voices, use it. If not, if you manage with the positive feelings, excitement, no other emotions that would be bothering at this point, it's enough to daily, through 3-5 minutes, just to breathe that in and get excited about it and feel it using all the senses we mentioned here, to feel it every day, see how it's going to envelope for you. And of course, now I'm going to mention a little bit about obstacles on the way. So do not make it so simple. There is a time that is going so well. You are visualizing, you're meditating, you have this peace of mind, everything goes great, and then somebody next to your door, it's somebody from the office, the letter, the payment, the whatever is out there, or the death of someone, you get very sad. And there are a lot of things that are happening out there. They could be also coming internally. That's something you didn't address. So there will be depression states, internal states of mind that will be challenging for you. So those obstacles will come along the way. And what are we doing with those to not interrupt us too much on the way where we want to go? They will happen, that's for sure. For some of you more, for some of you less. We are going to play a little bit Bruce Lee here. So as you know, Bruce Lee was a lot talking about using the energy of the opponent and running on that energy. And if the energy comes your way, you take it with you. And of course, it's going to take mental mastery to turn that energy so it walks toward the goal that you want to go to use that energy. There are a lot of techniques here. So the first thing that's going to happen when something unwanted comes your way is the emotion. It's always the feeling. It's always whether the anger, the sadness, the desperation, the frustration, anger, whatever is there. There are a lot of techniques, and whatever you choose, they have this component. The first thing is recognition. So whether you use NLP method like anchoring, like grabbing, you grab that energy before it's going to hit you, before it's going to harm you. So let's say it's anger. You grab that anger, say, this is anger. I recognize you. I see you. You recognize the anger and you grab it, because when you grab something using the gesticulation of your hands, for example, it's easier for your subconscious mind to differentiate it from you. So you're not becoming one with the anger. You are keeping it safely at the bay just for a few seconds. So the recognition is absolutely number one. Before it's going to turn into you saying, I'm angry, say, this is anger. I know you. I really know you. So the one is recognition. Now, some of you can still use the power of that anger, the certain feeling, and transform it like a Bruce Lee. So you pull that energy with you and you let it go in the direction that will move your goal forward. That takes mastery and mental practicing. Some of you at this point won't be able to do that. What you can do here is there's several methods and techniques, whatever you choose it, to pack it into a bulb of light, to frame it in the frame and change the frame into a more beautiful one. I don't care. Make it in a backpack. I don't mind. Choose the one that works for you. So if there is something you really don't know how to deal with, it's not the right time, you need more practice, okay, you cannot take it this current moment, maybe in a few days. When you practice with someone, or you go to therapist or a coach, or you go for a martial art training, whatever it will be, so it transforms in your mind, so you're going to be in a better mental spot. So you take that and you put that in backpack glass, and you raise it toward the sun, so the sun burns it at this moment, at this time. Or you give it to the source, like, okay, keep it for me later. Later I'm going to transform it, not now. But make sure you're going to come back to it when it's going to arise. You can also use the breathing. So when you breathe out, remember, you don't remember, but I will remind, there is this method of breathing when you breathe out through your nose in, and you breathe out speechless ha. So it's like, and when you breathe out, you imagine you are breathing out the light toward that traveling energy that comes along the way. So whether it's emotion, frustration, whatever you call it, or some situation that you don't like, something that is troubling you, you breathe out the light to it before you go in reality to solve it. So whether it's going to be an office, whether it's something you're going to write a paper and it's really a terrible thing for you to do and you don't want it, before you act out there in the world, prepare yourself mentally and put there more light. This is symbol for your subconscious mind, for your inner eye, and more attractive invitation to assist you on the way. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know about it. What do you want to know? How it works? Did it work for you? Maybe you have your own unique method of doing that, and good luck and best wishes for the 2022. Bye-bye.